You have tuned in to Get Lifted TV. My name is Mariam Koloyan, and I am joined with the amazing Christon Gray right before his gig right here in St. Mary's Church in London. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know you've had such a long day and the hours, and you must be confused as to even where you are and what you're doing.
I'm not confused. I'm in London.
Yeah, London!
Shout out to the UK. Christon Gray. Thanks for getting my name right.
Oh,
Pronounce it right.
Well, we were talking about this because if I say Christian Gray,
Yeah.
it connotates a lot of other things, especially since you have a song called 50 Shades on
What are
your
you talking
album.
about? Somebody else said that to me today. Is there somebody else named Christian Gray out there or something like that? Is that
If
like
you
a common name?
have you heard of a little phenomenon called 50 Shades of Grey?
Not besides my name.
Have
I'm
you
just joking. I'm totally joking with
my
you.
God.
You're falling for the joke really bad. So
I've had a 14-hour day as well.
it's okay.
Been
Wow.
long.
Wow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, yes. Yeah. Thank you for pronouncing it correctly because
My
I do
name
get
is
that a lot.
Mariam Koloyan. Do you know how many people get my name wrong? It's
Oh, wow.
insane. So you've been praised for spanning like a million genres with your music. For example, My Love Is Real. I really love this kind of very R&B vibes to it. And the Glory Part 1, I thought it gave off kind of almost, I know you get this a lot, but almost kind of Kanye vibes of it, like the sort of like the
Late registration.
yeah, like
Yeah.
the
College
rapping
Dropout.
over those kind of piano chords. Like
That was a
really
very, very Kanye inspired record. That one
Yeah.
has stopped me. My Love Is Real was when we first wrote it. It was inspired by more like a Doobie Brothers vibe. It was
Yeah.
very also, but then in production we went complete MJ.
yeah.
So it turned into that. But yeah, I'm a lover of all music. So I'm
Do you
glad
think?
that translates.
Yeah. Do you think you want to more? Because a lot of people sort of put you in a, let's say, like a Christian music scene. Would you want to like say I can span R&B, rap, hip hop? Because like you don't have, let's say, Christian music. Christian music spans every genre. You know.
Yeah.
It's not just gospel or whatever people might stereotype it as.
Anymore, I don't know. I mean, the last two albums have come out as R&B soul records.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll just whatever people want to name it. As long as it gets out there. I don't know if genres are going to exist in 10 years anymore. Everything's so
No.
blended. You have like these sub genres.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just love a lot of things. I think that this album was a good final chance to showcase all of that. So if I decide to go do an alternative electronic album, you won't be surprised because you
No.
heard Fort Knox. Or if I decide to do an entire hip hop album, you won't be surprised because you heard 50 Shades.
Exactly.
I can do whatever I want. So
Exactly.
yeah, I'm honored to be able to have that gift.
That's really because I think outside of the USA there's not really too much of a like a Christian music scene. I think especially here in the UK, like in the US it's very strong. You guys have their own charts and everything. So I think people outside of there might sort of put a label on it and think it's just, let's say, gospel or just sort of music that you sing in a sermon. Whereas with yours, you clearly have that message, but you span lots of different genres.
Yeah, I try. I think that between really having a heavy influence in jazz and classical, I grew up listening to a lot of gospel, but the gospel music I was listening to was very diverse.
Yeah.
There were people like Milton Brunson or the Hawkins or the Winans that had rich musical heritage, and they knew how to cater to a mainstream audience. Kirk Franklin even, and you learn how music is a universal language.
Of course.
So it's like learning different dialects or different languages when you explore different genres.
Yeah.
So worst thing that can happen is I do something that's whack and people don't like it, and then I'll stop. But I mean, this is my expression.
Yeah, of course it is. Well, your song "Stop Me" has been played on Ballers, Lethal Weapon, loads of ads. But most importantly for you, since I hear you're a massive sports fan, on ESPN,
I don't know if I'm a massive sports fan.
ESPY Awards.
I'm a massive LeBron James fan because we're from the same town.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So to see that song played while he won Athlete of the Year on the ESPYs, yeah, I was lit. It was a lituation, as we say in Ohio. And I mean, hey, I was actually shooting a video when that happened. My business partner called me from Toronto and said,
"Did you expect it?"
No.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
I heard that they wanted to, but in advertising, you never know. You get the call and they say they want to use it, and you can't sit on your hands waiting.
Yeah.
It either happens or it doesn't.
Yeah, of course.
So this one did, and I found out, and I turned up.
And the Super Bowl commercial too, right?
Yeah.
So
second Super Bowl commercial I've had.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really massive.
I know.
Well, here in the UK, we're also massive sports fans, but we have our own version of football.
Yeah, I've heard. It's football.
Yeah,
soccer.
Yeah. Do you know anything about it?
I mean, no.
No, that's fine.
I mean,
do you reckon it will ever get big in the US?
No, I actually.
They tried.
You know what? But y'all have what's the big championship?
Yeah, we have the national one is the Premier League.
Okay.
And then
It's
we
not
have
like
a
the World Cup?
Europe-wide one. Yeah, that's like teams from all over the world. That's
Yeah,
like
the
national
World Cup.
teams.
So I watched that,
Yeah.
and it's like intense. But that only happens like once every 10 years or
once
something,
every
right?
4 years, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm butchering it on purpose to see if I'm going to offend you or not, and I'm not. And that's
Oh,
cool,
no,
because we're in
that's
London
fine.
and nobody gets mad.
Hey. Well,
I'm just playing. Yeah, I love soccer. I used to play soccer in gym class.
oh God, don't remind me.
You know, I was not good at it.
Well, now that you're here, you should go to the pub afterwards and watch the game tomorrow. Sunday,
I'm
football
gonna-
with a roast.
I'm going to think about that. I
really-
will
with all the
consider
fans,
that
it's
in my
great.
mind, in my heart.
Back to your music, you also explore themes of race on your album. But I really love it because it's done very beautifully, subtly, kind of, like Solange's album. She expresses all the issues in a very like subtly beautiful way, and the music kind of molds around, like hugs it so perfectly.
Yeah.
And I know you must get this a lot, but you are the first American I've spoken to since the election. So I just wanted to be like, bro, what? Question mark.
What are you asking me?
What are we gonna do?
We're gonna just keep loving each other is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I think that the American people, just like anybody else, have to decide how they feel about each other, and not just who's in charge, and more importantly, how they feel about God. We've been called one nation under God. We've claimed to be that. We'll see. Only time will tell. And there's a lot of people who are hungry to understand what love is and how to incorporate that into their daily lives, who struggle with racial injustice,
Of course.
particularly in interracial relationships, which is what I broke down on my song Black
On your
Male.
song, yeah.
And I think that those relationships between people are more important than who's in charge and who's viewed as a leader.
Yeah.
And that's really up to us. It's not up to who's the president or who's in leadership. It's up to the people.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Love each other.
Yeah, I was in Toronto during the election, and
Oh God, did you get loads of smug looks from the Canadians?
No, I was chilling. I almost didn't come back. So.
Well, I think London will always have a place for you. I mean, this church is big enough to have a place for you.
I know,
It's
right?
huge. Have
I
you
could
been
move
here?
in, and no one would know. Shout out to St. Mary's.
Woo-woo. Thank you so much, Christon
My
Gray.
pleasure. Thank you.
I know you've had an extremely hectic schedule and your sound check and everything. You must be jet lagged, but I really, really appreciate you coming on to Get Lifted TV to talk to us
It
and
was my pleasure.
spread
you
the
so
love
much.
as you said it. High
Thank
five.
you.
We got this. Woo woo!
Get lifted.
Subscribe.